Cast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our webinar, How to Cut IBM Backup Times with Virtual Tape. My name is Axe Signer, Vice President of Electronic Storage Corporation. A little background on our company. We are located in Tulsa, Oklahoma. We have been in business for over 30 years. We're an IBM business partner and a Microsoft certified partner. Here in our Tulsa office, we have our own programming staff and our own customer service and technical support staff. So let's talk about traditional tape and its limitations and risks. Probably the number one thing in complaints of traditional physical tape would be slower backup speeds compared to a virtual tape solution. Data loss in terms of mislabeled tapes, defective tapes during restore attempts, lost tapes. These things can also cause extended downtime with your solution if you're not able to restore something from a physical tape. Limited scalability. Number one, you're having only one copy of your backup, whereas in a virtual tape solution, 2 copies are possible with the replication capabilities. Labor intensive, so this is moving tapes on and off site for restores, for rotating tapes. Slow and complicated restores where having to wait on a tape from an off-site disaster recovery site in order to retrieve that tape takes time. Therefore slowing down restore time, having to wait for the data that you need to be restored back to your system. So virtual tape advantages. Number one, backup speeds. And we're going to talk about a comparison here shortly where we compare physical tape speed to a virtual tape solution. Centralized management means you have one place that is available to you to access your backups at any time. So there's no more waiting for the physical tape to be retrieved or loaded. You're going to be able to access centrally anywhere, access to all of your backups. A user-friendly functionality means that it's easy for you to transition from a physical tape solution to a virtual tape solution. We're going to demonstrate how it really is a very simple process. Faster, easier data recovery and reliability. Automated archiving capability, giving you the option to move virtual tapes, say for long-term storage, to cloud storage, to external storage, off-site storage. Lots of flexibility there. Easily scalable compared to a physical tape solution in terms of being able to easily add storage to a virtual tape solution to increase the amount of data that you'd like to back up, or certain increases in data. Also the ability to have unlimited virtual backups available to restore from. Backup to dedupe appliances and cloud storage. We're going to get a little more involved with this, talking about some of the different solutions that we partner with and our technology partners that we save to their deduplication appliances, backup appliances, as well as cloud storage. So VTL backup speeds compared to tape. So we're looking at several LTO versions. We'll go right to LTO 9 at 400, rated at 400 megasecond, whereas a VTL solution can be as high as 850 megabytes a second. So we're looking at well over 2 terabytes an hour for a backup solution compared to a physical tape. And there are actually customers of ours that are backing up even faster than that. So easier restores and recovers with a virtual tape solution. You've got faster data recovery. We're going to rule out the human error of lost tapes, mislabeled tapes. So this is going to mitigate the risk of data loss. So it's going to provide you a more reliable backup. Now, easy replication ensures multiple copies, whereas in a physical tape backup solution, you have one copy of your backups. So easily automate a process that makes copies of your backups to cloud storage, to disaster recovery site, co-location, whatever your particular situation might be for replicating those backups. So this provides also for you a better disaster recovery, meaning that your full system saves that you can do a demode IPL from in a virtual tape solution are immediately available for you to do a recover. Using virtual tape with deduplication. Our particular solution does have a module for performing data deduplication. It's called BDU. So this license allows you to do a block level data deduplication and compression, where you're getting compression ratios of 10:1 and even higher. So this is going to save on your storage costs, decrease storage needs. When we're saying redundant copies, we're saying that at a block level, only blocks that have changed and new data are saved. So it's not repeating copies that are already existing. So this is also reducing your network traffic, in particular replication of your backups, to where you're replicating 10 times less data than your actual backup data set. And this helps improve protection as well. So let's talk a little bit about how you can interface your IBM with a VTL solution to dedupe appliances such as Exagrid, Cohesity, Rubrik, just to name a few of our technology partners that we work with, where the LaserVault Vital solution provides just simply the VTL to the IBM side to perform backups through BRMS, Robot Save, Go Save commands. And so we also see in this diagram where we talk about the connectivity of a VTL solution to the iSeries being a fiber channel connection or SAS connection, depending on the HBA that you currently have in your IBM that connects to your physical tape. So with this connectivity, we're emulating exactly what a tape device is able to perform with full system restricted state saves, as well as a demode IPL process. And here we're showing Vital, LaserVault Vital, as a gateway on the left there to, say, for example, a Rubrik cluster. And Rubrik is a deduplication backup solution for multiple platforms. We just happen to be for the IBM side. And so with the Rubrik solution, Exagrid, Cohesity, just to name a few, you have all of the data immutability capability, you have replication to cloud archive, Rubrik Cloud Vault, replication to a DR site with a second Rubrik solution. And this is where a VTL can connect to Rubrik through TCP/IP and access backups at both locations. Also, we wanted to announce a new technology partner with IBM and IBM Defender Data Protect Cluster. So when we talk about Rubrik, Cohesity, Exagrid, this would be using the IBM storage and IBM Defender Data Protect for the VTL solution to gateway to that storage. So along with any other of these deduplication appliances that I've mentioned, such as this one from IBM, any SAN or NAS storage could be leveraged that you may have in your environment currently for your IBM backups. So when you're looking at a solution, it's am I able to leverage existing disk space, use an existing dedupe backup appliance that other platforms are using for their backups instead of physical tape? And this is one of the solutions that we offer is that not having to invest in additional disk storage for your IBM backups. Okay, so before I go through the demo here, there's a question here on format issue if you back up to LaserVault replicating to a DSI or Falcon Store. Replication, I'll go into that here during the demo, and we'll talk about how replication is performed within LaserVault. Okay, so this is the LaserVault Vital web user interface. I'm going to log in with my username and password, so it's secure. Login. So the first section I want to go to is libraries over here on the left. So we're going to take a look at the settings for a virtual tape library that are defined within this particular VTL solution called LaserVault Vital. So we're going to edit these settings. Library name is basically just what you want to call this particular virtual tape library, which matches what you have over here on the left side, which we'll look at in a moment. Library path. So this feature is currently pointing to disk volume on a server in which the VTL software resides. So instead of pointing to local disk, you could point to SAN or NAS, deduplication appliance, IBM Data Protect, through SMB, Share, NFS, iSCSI. So this path can point directly to that storage. In that scenario, again, LaserVault Vital is a gateway to the storage, so that in a LaserVault server scenario, which is your VTL to the IBM no storage is required on that server because that server is pointing to the storage where it's writing the data directly to the virtual tapes that reside on that storage. Export path, I'll go over that feature shortly. The emulation that we support is 2, 3, 5, and 8. Typically on new installations, it's going to be 8. None of these have a storage limit such as physical tape. So if your backup is, say, 10 terabytes, that will fit all on one Ultrium 8 or Ultrium 5 virtual tape within the VTL solution. The number of storage slots. When we talk about scalability and having all of your backups available to restore from immediately, this is where you can provide the number of storage slots for the virtual tapes that you want to store within the library path. Again, these can also be replicated, so we'll talk about that in a minute. This can go as high as 16,000 storage slots, which is virtually unlimited. We do have customers that don't delete any of their backups, so it's good to have to be able to increase this number if you need to add additional virtual tapes for additional rotations, retentions, things like that. So at any time you can increase this up to 16,000 storage slots for increasing the number of tapes, virtual tapes that you need available for your backups. There is a capacity you can set on your virtual tapes if you would like to do that for any tapes that you use in which you might be writing journals or backing up journals throughout the day, and then once that tape fills up, you want it to rotate to the next tape. Data block file count. Now this is a super important feature that we added really at the very beginning of this particular solution that we developed here with our programming staff in Tulsa. And this is data block file count. So this is a multi-thread process where when you perform a backup, say you start a BRMS control group, and it uses one virtual tape, for example, or it could use 2 or 3 virtual tapes as a parallel, say, within BRMS. But for each virtual tape, we've got it set to 8, and it's going to be writing to 8 files during the backup, during the write process. So allowing us to spread out the processing of the backup into multiple files during the write process helps give us that 850 megasecond speed, and could be even faster. I'd say the sweet spot for this is anywhere from between 8 and 16 files for the data block file count. Also, we have some cache settings that you can set when you're testing a new installation for the fastest write and recovery speed. And those settings for the write speed are anywhere from 0 to 64 meg. And again, these are for backup speed and also restore speed for these cache settings. Now our solution comes standard with compression, which averages 4 to 1. With the deduplication bdupe add-on licensing, then you're looking at a compression of 10 to 1 or even higher, depending on the change rate of the data. Production partitions, typically 10, 12 to 1, and on other less used partitions where there's less change rate of data, 20, 30, 40 to 1 compression. With deduplication, you can also enable encryption, or without deduplication, you can enable encryption with your passkey here. So that would be AES 256 encryption during the backup process. So let's talk about replication and retention. So I have 3 examples of replication settings. Network path. So in this particular case, we're replicating to a second VTL server at a DR location or co-location, or replicating to storage at that location. In fact, this particular path actually points to cloud storage, Amazon as Microsoft Azure. Then I also have replication to S3, Microsoft Azure. Wasabi is another one in which we have settings for your cloud account for Amazon S3, Azure, and Wasabi. So network path replication is what we're doing is replicating the files that are associated with the virtual tape. Say we're using 8 files. This is going to replicate those files to a path. This is the network path here that's set. So like the question for DSI Falcon Store, that storage can be available to LaserVault through SMB or NFS. Then replicating those backups to that storage can be used in a network path scenario such as I have here. So once these are all settings in which you create, and then we're going to have scheduled tasks that automatically perform these replication and retentions. Now the retention part you may not use because if, say for example, you're using BRMS media policies with BRMS maintenance handle the rotation and expiration of tapes within BRMS database. And so the tapes that you create here can be added into BRMS and used with your control groups and your media policies for your daily, weekly, monthly backups. But if you're using something like Go Backup, you're using the Go Save commands, retention is able to be set down here below for local and remote retention based on age or based on number of volumes, which is telling the solution keep the 10 most recent volumes, and these could be applied to all your daily virtual tape volumes that you're saving to. So once this is all created, again, there'll be a scheduled task. There's also email notifications that can be set so that you receive an email when a replication job has begun, when it's completed, if there happens to be an error in the replication process. And these can be defined for multiple tape volumes, daily, weekly, monthly, in terms of replication and or retention. In the terms of replicating to cloud storage, we simply have selected Microsoft Azure as our replication target. And then for cloud storage properties, we have the proper parameters for that cloud storage account in order to access that storage and perform the replication to Microsoft Azure, as well as settings for S3 and also Wasabi. Now, again, we mentioned that using SAN or NAS storage may already have capabilities to perform replication, deduplication, compression. Therefore, all we would like to do is just basically target that storage, write directly to it during a backup, and have that storage perform any of those particular features, as opposed to using LaserVault for replication and retention and deduplication and so forth. Now, our solution with a fiber channel connectivity, 16 gig, 32 gig, 64 gig fiber channel connectivity speeds, our solution does support NPIV, meaning that for each physical fiber channel port within a LaserVault Vital server, you can define up to 64 virtual tape devices, and this could be divided up into a number of tape libraries, a number of tape devices. This could be one tape library with 64 tape devices that are allocated to it, or unallocated for that matter. But yes, for each fiber channel connection, you can have up to 64 virtual tape devices. So here I have, using one worldwide port name on this port, control path yes. Back on my Power 10 system, do a work MLB status, and we had TAP, that represents TAP MLB V1 and TAP V1 as the tape device. So that is one worldwide port name. That's one virtual port out of 64 that are available for each physical port on the fiber channel side. Then you also have group access to this interface. This interface really is just setting everything up, adding in your virtual tapes. You're really, because all of your backup procedures are performed on the IBM I side using BRMS, Go Save, Go Backup, Robot Save, and that's handling all the tape library functionality from the IBM I side. Your restores are done from the IBM I side, just like physical tape or any other VTL solution for that matter. Everything is the same in terms of being able to use a virtual tape compared to a physical tape. But you can define group access. So for anyone in your team that would need to access this interface to add additional tapes, such as creating new media, moving media, importing, exporting. So all these features within the administrator, which I'm signed on as, I have these different settings that I can perform within this interface. Okay, so we'll take a look at library 1. And so here we have, it's going to show path. Let's talk a little bit about export path. That gives you the ability to move a tape from the tape library to that path. That happens to be a Microsoft Azure path, or it could be external disk, network path, DR site, whatever the case might be. You might use this particular feature to move out a tape that doesn't need to be messed with for 7 years because it's got a 7-year retention on it. So if that's not a tape that you need to restore from, like maybe hardly ever, you might move it from this path to the export path. So that is different from replication. Replication is a copy. Export is a move. So that tape is moved. You can go to import here, and this will show you any tapes that have been exported. So TAP 16, check that box, import it, and it brings it back into inventory. This is your tape device here. So if you have multiple drives, you'll have drive 1, 2, 3, etc. for the number of drives that are available to this tape library. There's a move option to manually move a tape into the drive. So say, for example, you just want to go ahead and load that tape, do a restore on it, do a demode IPL if it's a full system save. Simply move that tape into the drive with the move option. Since I'm admin, I have delete. I also have export, protect. Protect is like putting a write protect on a physical tape. Once a protect is made on the tape, then it cannot be overwritten, deleted, and it cannot be formatted until it's unprotected. Labels, you can go here and click on labels to see all of the libraries that are in that backup, along with the sequence and the size of each of the libraries. It's kind of like doing a display tape. You can go here and quickly see you're wanting to pick out a full system save. You would see everything within that save right here on the view labels. Create media. So this is where you're going to create your virtual tapes into the number of slots that you've specified. So serial numbers, typically folks use a 1, 2, or 3 character prefix on their virtual tape volume IDs. Again, you get 6 characters just like you do with physical tape. You can say create multiple tape images. You can go ahead and do an initialize, which is the same as INZ tape. So let's say we're going to go ahead and create these tapes with a D prefix for save daily as an example. So create media, those tapes are added into inventory. When you do a work MLB status and you do a 9, I'm sorry. Those volumes will become star inserted. So the inventory is automatically updated. The IBM I side sees those new tapes. then simply say, for example, if you're using BRMS, then you're going to go ahead and add those tapes into BRM using, I think it's add media BRM. There's a command to add in all the media. So these will be all new tapes that go into BRMS inventory and assigned a media class, and then used in your control groups to perform backups. So super simple to create your media. Again, these tapes, once created, these virtual tapes, they will reside on the library path. Again, we mentioned this is local storage, but this could be instead network attached storage. Some of the other menu options here are jobs. These are your replication jobs that have completed or currently running. So it gives you a quick audit of your replication jobs and when they completed, and if there are any currently that are running. Port information to troubleshoot any port issues. So here we have linked up, enabled, so we're good to go with a 16 gig fiber channel connection. So this, a lot of times really this goes and we use this and we see which port names are assigned to which drives based on serial number, which shows up on the IBM side as a serial number for the tape device, tape library. System configuration, pretty simple settings here. Authorization code. Our licensing is perpetual, so it is a one-time license fee authorized for the number of ports that you need in terms of virtual ports and slots. Okay, Joe, so just a quick recap. Accelerate your backup speed tremendously. You got a centralized management solution, user-friendly, rapid, reliable recovery, automated archives, easily scalable in terms of easily being able to replicate, cloud storage, utilizing and leveraging that, leveraging existing backup storage with any deduplication backup appliance or any SAN or NAS solution. Okay, so in the GoToMeeting panel, there are some documents that you can download, sizing questionnaire. This will help us determine the fiber channel connectivity needed for bandwidth and for the number of virtual tape devices that you're needing to back up any or all of your LPARs. Some great customer testimonials for our particular solution, some technical specs, comparison of virtual tape to traditional tape. Try to say that 10 times. And a data sheet, IBM and VTL solution. So we'd love to answer your questions. We'd love to help you configure a VTL backup solution for your IBM customize that configuration. So we would love to sit down with you online and go through more detail of our product, get your questions answered, get configuration information going so that we can properly provide you with any pricing information you'd like to have. So you can email us at info@laservault.com. You can receive a $50 Amazon gift card when the demo is complete, if you'd like to receive that. So if there are any other questions, we're going to go ahead and wrap up here in a second. I think I got that one question answered pretty good there. And then there's our contact information, our 800 number. We're going to do a drawing for that 1 terabyte portable SSD. Pretty cool. So you're going to announce a drawing for that and announce the winner, and then reach out to one of you to get that shipped out to you. Okay, wonderful. So it doesn't look like there's any additional questions. And I want to thank everyone for their time. And please let us know if we can help in any way. And enjoy the rest of your day.